The 4 agreements are: be impeccable with your word, don't take anything personally, don't make assumptions, and always do your best. They're hard to maintain.
Those are hard agreements.
Yeah.
But the more you do it, you like this book, you could read it in like 4 hours. And it's like a brain massage.
Oh, I like that.
The agreement means like how your brain's wired, what you agree to be true. Be impeccable with your word is like speak the truth, don't gossip. Well, you have to stop this podcast. But and from that macho banger song,
Oh my
she was
God.
like, "That I'm gonna date that guy and he's gonna be my boyfriend."
Oh
No, I'm gonna date
my
that guy.
God.
No, I'm gonna work with that guy and he's gonna be my boyfriend. That's the direct
Wow,
quote.
you kind of have a similar experience, Antonia.
Oh,
with
same
your
how I
husband.
met my partner.
Yeah.
Well, I also like that like your comedy vibe has not changed at all.
I'm
You're
still
just-
that silly, fun guy.
Yeah, you can't stop making Sanjaya videos.
Yeah, no, it's all been that's all they're all based on that. And that was my origin story. Yeah,
That was the first
No, it
and
wasn't the
last concept you ever made.
yeah. It wasn't the first.
Sanjaya video.
No, that wasn't the first. Nah. Oh man, the first song I ever made. I don't even want to talk about that, but I think the first parody song I ever made was
Yeah.
it was a parody of Nothing But a Jew Thing, Baby, and I did the Jewish version, Nothing But a Jew Thing, Baby.
Wait, so you're Jew
Yeah.
and you're a
Schwartz.
musician. What's your favorite Jewish song?
Oh wow.
Oh,
I don't know if I could pick. Oh, like a prayer song, like
Whatever.
From Temple.
Whatever.
You know what song's kind of slaps? Micha mocha ba'al givurot. It's pretty good.
hey.
Is that the one that then goes, Umi
Because it has a beat, you know what I mean? Most of these prayers, they're just chants, and you're like, where's the groove? But that one you could groove to.
Yeah, you got that beatboxing.
Yeah,
Do you do that at temple also?
always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always. Do you go to temple anywhere?
No, but I think Ray's trying to flow. Every once in a while, I'll find myself at a temple. Yeah, I've been Wilshire Boulevard. I've been there.
Love them.
Temple Adat Elohim.
Oh,
that was
love
my
that
home
one.
base. Yeah. It's Chaim, Thousand Oaks. What's up?
Crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, every once in a while, I'll find myself. I'm not a regular temple goer. I've done shows at temples. Yeah.
As we have as well.
Yeah, you too.
Mostly Antonia.
That's our vibe.
You probably go every
That's
week.
my big vibe.
You go to temple every week.
Most.
Okay,
yeah,
most.
pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome to Yenta.
We're on? What? I've been holding a mic in front of my face. I didn't know I was on.
The podcast that's sometimes about comedy, sometimes about Judaism,
And always about
gossip.
Oh, jeez. I thought you guys were going political. I'm like, I thought I was going to
Always
escape
about
from that.
Israel, Palestine.
Gossip. They said gossip.
What
gossip.
did you think we were gonna say?
Gaza.
That's what I thought you were going to say. I was like, what did I get myself into? I don't want to talk about that right now.
Oh my
I
god!
wish the whole thing would end.
Oh my God. What a thing to spring on a guest.
I know. I'm like,
This is actually a podcast where we just bring you on and say the most uncomfortable things
yeah.
we can think of.
Can we cut that out?
So
No,
okay.
no, we
Okay.
can. I mean, it's so crazy, like to be a comedian right now, and like people are just talking around it all
Yeah.
the time. It's
Yeah.
so
on
weird.
stage or in real life or both.
Both.
Yeah.
More on stage because
You
it's
guys
so
prepped me.
uncomfortable.
You guys prepped me and said we want you to be vulnerable and tell secrets. So I guess I'll
That's
just,
not. Yeah.
It's hard. Like,
You don't have to be vulnerable about everything.
About yeah.
Right.
Today on the
Okay.
podcast we have Eric Schwartz.
Hey.
And he's ready to be vulnerable.
Yeah. Oh, and
Eric.
Oh, go.
Oh, go.
No, you go. You go. No, you
Okay.
are actually going to do something
This
important.
is our bit. Well, I was going to introduce Eric Schwartz. Eric is a stand-up comedian. He is also a parody songwriter. Also, you produce video content like crazy, both for comedy and for corporations sometimes.
Oh wow! How'd you know about that?
I did a deep dive.
Oh wow!
She does her research.
His special delivery is on YouTube, and it's like so above the average quality for YouTube specials. You really should go see it right now.
Go see it.
I saw you first at a comedy club where you did like a half music, half comedy bit. You brought your own. What's the name of the machine?
It's like a looper.
You brought your own looper.
Oh, that's so cool.
You schlepped your own equipment.
Yeah.
And just absolutely crushed. You were covered in sweat.
That's all she remembers.
I think so.
Okay.
And you killed. You were so good. And then afterwards I talked to you, and like I told you before we started recording, I was like, this guy is so nice. What the fuck?
Truly.
Thanks. Thank you. I remember that night. It was maybe you had just gotten to LA?
Just got into LA. Do you know who else performed that night?
No.
Dax.
Love Dax.
Oh.
Other guest on the
Hamilton.
pod.
The kid.
The
Yeah.
kid. You remember the
that guy's-
kid?
Yeah, he's really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's so cute.
Yeah. No, and now I think he works there now
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
at that club.
He's a server.
Yeah. And I'm almost like, dude, you're funnier than that.
Yeah.
He needs money,
Hustling.
right?
Yeah, he
He's
needs money.
hustling.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the people who work at the store, like
Yeah.
the door guys, but
Okay.
also way less prestigious
Yeah.
to be at the chateau.
That guy's really funny.
Yeah.
He is. He's great.
Yeah.
And
He's like, what, 19?
Yeah,
Yes.
he turned 20 on the podcast.
Yes,
Okay.
he came on his birthday.
Aw. Nice
Yeah,
guy.
yeah,
Nice guy.
yeah.
Real little pumpkin.
And I'm not jealous of him at all that he's so wildly successful and talented at only 19, 20.
That's when I started. I was 19.
Really?
Yeah. I'm 19 years old.
Where were you? How did you start?
I started. I've always been like the DIY guy. Like if you want to do something, make it happen. That's one of the themes in my special. I don't know if you got that far, but at the end, I asked God, because it's a multimedia special, so God has an appearance in there, and I go, when am I gonna make it? And he goes, the answer's in the question. Oh. When are you? And I go, oh yeah, when am I gonna make it? I have to make it. I have to. I got to make the situation I want to see. Honestly, that's what I did with the show. I made it. That's what I say. That's the lyric. So I started by doing that. I was a DJ since I was 14 years old. I spent my bar mitzvah money on DJ equipment.
Incredible.
And so I was already like in front of crowds. And then when I went to college, I was like, I want to start doing comedy. I had tried it on a family vacation on a cruise ship. It was crazy. But then I was in college and I'm like, well, there's nowhere to perform in San Luis Obispo. I'm going to make my own shows. I would put them on in the dorms. I called them coffee houses. I had a sign-up sheet. Anyone could sign up and do their talent, poetry, music, comedy, whatever they do, dance. And I would host the show. And I would do comedy at the beginning, in between, and at the end. So that's how I got my feet wet.
And you've been doing it for
A long time.
For so long.
Yes. Over decades.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we're not going to name the
We're not
exact
going to say any
amount.
numbers.
Yeah.
All right.
So why would we?
Well, yeah, no, why would you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know how old anyone is in here.
Well, we're all 19.
We are.
Yeah.
We're
I'm
all
still-
20.
still,
that's
we're
why I
peers
started.
with Dax.
Once you start comedy, you don't age ever.
That's actually not untrue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that.
It is your inner child.
You're just like stuck in that adult baby body.
That's right.
What's something like you've been doing comedy for so long? I feel like you have to be and you look so confident on
Aw.
stage
And you look
And-
so good
Thanks.
and hot.
Dang.
and sexy.
I'm coming here every week. Every week.
Guys, we're going to comment that on all of your videos.
Okay. Please, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll be looking for it.
So hot.
Just affirmations from my friends.
We're gonna make bot accounts. We're gonna make fake accounts so you won't even know it's us.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Even better.
It's kind of our thing. So you've been doing it for so long. You seem so confident. Like, what is a part of your comedy life that you don't feel good at? That you're trying to get better at?
Storytelling. I do it, but like real stories from my life that are traumatic. That's really hard for me to like make it palatable to people, because what I've realized is you have to already have processed it. The audience can't feel like you're in the middle of it and that they're like watching you process it and like get through it, because that makes them
Yeah.
uncomfortable, right?
100%.
So I've realized like you can talk about traumatic things, but you have to be cool with it first. You can't be in the middle of the trauma. For
Yeah,
me anyway.
No, I completely
Yeah.
agree with you, and I
Yeah.
struggle with the exact same thing. And I've heard other comedians talk about it, like they have to tell the audience, like, guys, I'm fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
when
but
you have
just-
to say that,
Yeah.
I think something else is not working.
Yes.
I also think I probably have a face that people feel sorry for. Not my face.
That's the name of the special.
Yeah, a face that people say. No, but like they want me to be okay, right?
Yes. I feel like I have the same face.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You could tell just by looking at you, you're a nice person.
People want to take care of you.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and and then you hear, well, comedy is about your pain, and it is, but it isn't. It's about you making fun of like getting over something,
Is there a story that you feel like would work on stage that you're still trying to figure out?
I've been talking about my my parents more, and like they divorced when I was a kid, and it is working. It has started working, but when I started, people like I got an aw, like my parents are divorced, aw.
Which
Go,
is
that's
like,
insane
it's so
to do.
common.
That's like for a grown man.
Yeah. And also, everyone's parents are divorced. Get over it.
Right.
It's not like that's like not even real.
You know what? I'm gonna tell them to get over it.
Yeah,
I'll
they
be like,
should.
guys, fucking get over
Yeah,
it.
it's not a big deal. Half of your parents are divorced.
Yeah.
You know what's better for a bad marriage? Divorce.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I say. I've been with my girlfriend for 17 years, and I have a good reason why we're not married. It's because I want to stay together.
Is that real?
Oh yeah, I say that on. Well, that's
In
it
your real
is
life.
part of it. It is part of it. Part of it is that it's just so many. It's a long story.
But what about the tax deductions?
Can we get them? I really
If you're
don't.
married.
Yeah, of course.
Well, you're married.
Yeah.
Can you explain to me what's the advantage of being married? How
They
is it
tax you
different?
less. So like
Is that
for,
why?
Yeah.
Purely money reasons?
Well, it depends on who you're talking to.
Okay.
The tax advantages are that they tax you less.
Okay.
When you file as one unit instead of two individual people, the percentage is lower.
Okay.
And then you're asking me about the other reasons to get
Yeah.
married?
Mhm.
I mean, I chose to get married because the religious aspect doesn't connect to me. But for both of us, there just felt like it felt good
Okay.
to say like, we've done this ritual that has declared us married. We got married when we were together for 6 years. And I will say that like, even though absolutely nothing about our lives changed, nothing, I felt different. And he did too. And we like talked about this. We were like, oh, wow, hell yeah. Like this is never going anywhere. There's just like a real vulnerability, an opening up that happened even 6 years in.
Yeah.
Even though nothing about our lives changed. I think that's not the case for everyone. And I wouldn't say that that would happen to anyone other than us. But our experience was like something just felt, there was so much trust. I think both of us have abandonment issues. And once we had this legal tie, it felt like the fear of abandonment kind of went away.
That's what I talked to another comedian that got married, and she said that that's something similar. Like when they fight, they know that it's not going anywhere, that they have to work it out because this is forever. It's not like they're thinking about their next move.
Yes. And
Yeah.
it has really impacted our arguments. They went way down because so much of what we were arguing about was like, was basically like, oh, like I'm slightly annoyed about something. Therefore you like react with so much hurt because you're like, why would you leave me for this small thing? Does that make sense?
Right.
Like we would hear the criticism as being like, here's this little criticism and that's the reason I'm going to leave you.
Because of the abandonment.
Yeah, because we both have abandonment issues.
Yeah.
And so then we would get like, when you feel unsafe, you just can't have a good conversation. You can't have a good discussion or argument. So the sense of safety, I think, that came over our relationship was so profound that now like a little thing like you didn't do the fucking dishes. It's like, oh yeah, no problem.
Okay.
I'll do the fucking dishes.
What she also said was, there was just something else she said. Is that they, you're not. What was the other thing? I gotta call her. I just had it on the tip of my tongue. I can't.
So okay, so what's your relationship like at year 17? What's your sex life like?
Oh wow!
I love that. Antonia,
vulnerable.
get in.
It's good. I mean, yeah, it's good. It's fine. It's, I travel a lot. We're definitely, the pandemic actually was, a lot of people split them apart, but it brought us together because I travel a lot. We really didn't get to spend that kind of concentrated time together.
Yeah.
And so we just really loved each other's company and just, she cooks for me and she cooked for me a lot during the pandemic.
Nice.
It was great. And then I would say, we felt trapped in our house as everybody did. And I would just like, we would watch programs like everybody did. And I would go, let's go in the airplane. Right. And that was our bed. Let's go in the airplane and watch movies. Right.
That's like your euphemism for like the Mile High Club. Yeah.
No, it was more like
Mile High Club.
Well, sometimes stuff like that would happen, but
let's go on our airplane.
No, but meaning like we would have our mental escape of like we're not trapped, we're flying somewhere. You know what I mean?
That's cute.
Yeah, it was adorable.
I feel like Antonia, you.
Sorry,
have to...
ladies, I'm taken.
Oh no! Everyone was here wanting to just date you.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
Well, actually, yeah.
Just kidding.
Wait, can we talk about The Artist's Way? Because
let's talk about it.
You walked in, you saw The Artist's Way.
I thought the table was set up for me.
And he's like, did you do that for me? It's like, yes, we
have
did.
A box of matzah and The Artist's Way, and you were like,
I'm like, you nailed it.
Perfect.
This represents everything about you.
Yeah, a lot of it. The Artist's Way, I did it probably the first time in 2001, early 2000s, and it changed everything. It changed my outlook on what, artistically. It got me unblocked. It showed me.
Did you do the morning pages?
Yeah, morning pages. I did one. I did them this morning.
Oh shit!
I will say that I haven't been good about it lately, but I did them this morning, and
So do you just have 20 years of morning pages?
Yeah. No, because I haven't done them all the time. I haven't been consistent with it. But there's years where I was doing it like almost every single day.
Wow.
Here's my question. Okay, pitch me The Artist's Way, but you cannot pitch morning pages or artist dates. What else do you get from it?
It says right on the front, it's a spiritual guide to creative freedom. So what it does is it helps you mine your past and number one, a spiritual guide to creative freedom. Spirituality, not religion. It asks you to believe in God, but not in a religious way. That creativity comes from somewhere. It takes the burden off of you to come up with these things. People ask, how do you come up with that? And I go, I don't come up with it. It comes up with me. And so if you can just be a listener, you listen to what quote unquote God is telling you, then it becomes much easier. The burden is off of you. You're just a conduit to the art, the
muse.
The art.
Yeah.
You just are listening. And I think we forget that a lot as artists. Also, the artists, the morning pages and the artist day are just tools. So what it does is it helps you get in touch with like your past and like figure out why you think certain ways, how to change that thinking that's blocking you, and get to your true north, which is your goal, what you really desire and want in this life, where you should be heading.
Wow.
There you go. I've done it 7 times. I should know.
Yeah. Maybe I should do it again because I've been feeling like blocked creatively recently.
I tell people, if you actually do it, if you actually do the Artist's Way, there's no way you can remain stuck. There's just no way. You can't. It's impossible if you actually do it. Julia, holler at me.
We love you, Julia.
We love Julia. Julie. Maybe she'll come on the pod.
How do you balance creativity and administration?
Oh, it's so hard. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to do it right now.
Yeah.
So like I spend half my days, and this is my block right now. I spend half my days editing videos.
Yeah.
Maybe more than that. And
Clips.
Yeah. Because I my promise to myself is I'm releasing some content every single day.
I saw that in your bio, and I was like,
Yeah.
that's a big promise.
How has that been? How long have you been doing it?
So this year mostly. Since my special came out day after Thanksgiving of last year, I probably missed about 5 days. And I was like, okay, just give yourself, either I was traveling or I was shooting something that whole day and there's no way I could have done it. And I just gave myself the day off. But it sucks. I'll just say it sucks.
Yeah.
But it's one of
Yeah.
those things where, I go, yeah, it's going to suck. It has to suck. I'm going to enjoy the pain of it because I listened to David Goggins' book as well. So
I've heard his book. What book is that?
there's two of them. There's Can't Hurt Me and Never Finished. And
Is he the one that does all the marathons?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He's a former Navy SEAL,
yeah.
ultra marathoner. And you listen to his story
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, I can withstand a lot more than I'm going through right now. Like, so
What's your strategy for posting clips? It's all stand up? I mean, I guess you also have like a backlog of
I
years
do.
of
So
stuff.
now, I've been doing content since early 2000s. I started making videos. So I do have like stuff that's like evergreen or stuff I can repost. But my strategy is like I try to release around the same time every day. I really have researched what is successful like for your watch time, and like you just want to keep them interested the whole time. There's wind blowing
It's
through.
very windy
and,
today.
Wind chiming on
Yeah.
your glasses over there. And just keeping the video engaging the whole way through, because the more watch time you have, there's all these boring metrics.
This is not boring. This is freaking fascinating.
Yeah, so like I've researched it. I listened to this other book. I'm giving you guys a reading list right now.
Good.
But there's this other book called The YouTube Formula, I believe it's called, by Daryl Evers. He used to work with Mr. Beast, and he's one of the guys behind the Squatty Potty commercials. You remember that? There was one
Incredible.
super viral that like there was a unicorn pooping a rainbow into, and then it like got everyone's attention. Anyway, and he's also one of the now executive producers of the Chosen.
What are your top three tips? Top three creative content tips?
Creative content tips. I would say be clear about your niche. So, and I could be better at that. If you're doing stand-up comedy, make your channel about stand-up comedy or,
Funny stuff.
funny stuff.
Yeah.
But then if you could do like a workout video, that's like off topic.
Yeah.
Unless it's a funny workout video. And then second, I would say keep it engaged, keep it like interesting the whole way through.
Yeah.
Because those watch time is like everything.
Yeah.
Right? So when you start getting like 90% watch time, 110% watch time,
110.
you
That's
know it's gonna
huge.
go
Right.
viral.
Yeah.
And then I would also say like research, like just like absorb as much instruction as you can. Like go seek out those books like that, and like you're a student of this art form or this whatever this on viral video
I guess
is.
it is kind of a craft.
Yeah, it's like a craft.
It's like a shitty thing to say because
Yeah.
it's not really, but it is.
The thing that sucks about it is just it can be all consuming.
Yeah.
That's
So
what
you said you
that's what's hard
spend
about it.
half your days doing it
Yeah.
every day.
So now the challenge is, now the block is, can I let go? Can I let go of needing to be in control of the edit, and it's not maybe not going to turn out the way.
Pay someone else to do it.
Yeah. And I have people that are doing it, and it's working out, but I just gotta, I can't grow any bigger. You can't grow any bigger if I do this every day. Because I have some other big picture things that I want to make that would really help.
Yeah, it really keeps you focused on like a very small place in your brain.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
creating
right.
content over and over. I
You're
know.
right.
I'm like, because I used to try to post like 2-3 times a week, and it was really, just.
How often do you guys post?
Right now, I've been slow about it, but I would say right now it's like twice a week.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get that up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have an amount. It's kind of just like when I feel like I have something to post, I will.
I mean, you make a podcast. You guys could definitely have enough content. For,
Yeah.
You
we
gotta,
post a lot of content, podcast clips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
we do,
okay.
Yeah. Tell us
Just
about
kidding, we love
your Jewish connection to Judaism now,
So
if any.
So now.
Yeah.
Well, I was born Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Both parents. And I had a bar mitzvah, and like now, I do. I mean, a lot of my content is about being Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
I did some very popular Jewish comedy songs. I did one called Hanukkah Hey Ya that went super viral before YouTube even existed. It was Hanukkah, Hanukkah. That was huge. And then that one led me to a big, what is it called? Flash animation made by Jib Jab of my song Matzah.
I love
Any
Jib
way you
Jab.
want to eat it, cold or hot, it's matzah. You know the one? You love Jib Jab?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys actually have matzah. here.
Mm-hmm. For you.
For the song.
Really? Okay. And then I did Crank That Kosher Boy.
That's funny.
That's the first one I worked on with my girlfriend. Hanukkah Electronica. I did one with my friend Jason Mraz called Thank the Jews.
With your friend Jason
Okay,
Mraz.
name
Yeah.
drop.
Wow, sorry guys.
Okay,
Well.
Jason Mraz.
Is he Jewish?
He's not Jewish, but
See, he would be a good person to give us some Yenta about.
he was on my podcast, which has not been released yet. 4 years ago, he was on it.
I was
love
wondering
that.
that
I
when I
can't
saw
wait.
the first episode of that podcast from 2018.
Yeah. It's
coming.
2019.
It's coming.
No,
though.
this summer I'm freaking releasing it.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to say something else. No, because it's way too hard to make. So I gotta just get this. It's called Podcast the Musical. So I do a podcast.
That's funny.
God.
So like this would be the podcast, right? And then I would take topics from the conversation, go back and record songs based on the conversation. So
That's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work.
and I'm changing the name because that you can't search podcast, you can't search the musical because there's too many of them. So I'm changing it to Eric Schwartz Sings Your Praises.
Cute.
Yeah, it's very cute.
Yeah.
That is cute.
It's adorbs. And
Will you sing on the pod?
yeah, I do. I sing mostly like, after the interview's over. Like Jason and I actually made a couple songs for the podcast. He was, there's not every guest will participate in the music, but he did. Mm-hmm. And
He is Jason Mraz.
I mean, he killed
I'd
it.
be
critically
shocked.
acclaimed singer of things like Hey There, Delilah.
No.
No,
Nope.
that's not him. You already knew that. You shook your head no.
I know his music. I forget.
He did.
I
He
forget
does.
the-
He's I'm yours. That's
Yeah,
his
yeah, I'm
biggest
yours.
hit. I won't give up.
Oh my God.
I love that
Yes.
song.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I love
There's
Jason.
so many. There's Lucky I'm in love with that. And then
Oh,
yeah.
that's
I
a
gotta
really
make
sweet one.
it mine.
Okay, so are
That
those
one.
actually about people that he's in love with?
You'd have to ask him. But yeah, I know everything he writes is inspired by something in his life. I forgot what the story is. I'm yours. I think I'm yours is more about creativity. I don't think it's about a person.
Oh, I
think,
like that.
I think he was like surrendering himself to the process or something like that. I think I heard him about. I might be wrong, but I think I heard an interview about that. Yeah,
Interesting.
super nice guy. Like I've known him since around when I started The Artist Way. We met at a show where he was in a band, and I was the comedian. It was in a bowling alley, and I was going back and forth with the band because I was riffing with them musically and comedically, and then we totally hit it off. There was a guy in the band called Billy, and then there was Jason, and they did an open mic at this coffee place, Kiffin Coffee. They go, you should come to our open mic. And I would come to their open mic like every week. It was so much fun. There was musicians, there was comedians. Billy became one of my best friends for life. And Jason and Billy were best friends as well. And so we've always all kept in touch.
Wow.
Yeah.
Before he was Jason Mraz.
He was always Jason Mraz, but before more of the world knew him. He was already like doing college shows, and he was popular in the college market, but his first major label album had not come out yet. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you hate about Judaism?
I thought you were going to say, what do you hate about Jason? I'm like, nothing. What do I hate? You know what?
Turn.
I will tell you what I hate about Judaism.
Go in.
And every religion
It's
probably
a better
has
question.
Every group on the face of this earth has levels to this shit, right?
Okay. Wow.
So I hate the in-office discrimination of Judaism, and any group has this problem, right? There's Reform Jews. That's how I grew up, Reform, and now you're judging me because I kind of feel like you weren't Reformed growing up.
Oh my God.
Bro.
How wrong you are.
Are you Reformed?
To my core.
Okay. I knew you weren't Orthodox when you hugged me when I came in. And I was...
Is this just because you know I do so much Jewish content? You're like,
Yeah, you do
she's
like
gotta
Jewish.
be.
That's an interesting note for you. That people are thinking that you're Orthodox.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I was like, hands back. Hands back.
Don't touch
Do
anyone.
not touch. Because if you don't know...
Orthodox people know that you're not Orthodox.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I'm not wearing a skirt.
Well,
and
yeah.
your real
I
hair
see
is
my-
showing.
My real hair is showing.
Yeah,
You can
even
see
though
my
you're married.
elbows.
Oh.
So many reasons.
So many
And we're
reasons.
not making fun of the Orthodox. I'm not... See, like, they probably feel that the lesser Jews make fun of them. No, but I feel...
Yeah. They're not even really Jews.
They don't even.
Right.
Yeah, they're like, we don't
Oh.
care. They're not Jewish.
Yeah.
But there is that, and I think people would be surprised to know that there's like, there's Orthodox, there's conservative, there's Reform, and they don't always they're not always nice to each other, and I think that needs to stop.
Agreed.
One of my friends, who is half black, half Jewish, when he was a kid, they were giving out menorahs during Hanukkah outside of a store. To anybody who's Jewish. He goes, "Oh, I'm Jewish. Can I have a menorah?" They go, "Are you Jewish?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'm half." "Which half?" "My dad's Jewish." "Oh, no, I'm sorry. Only if your mom's..." Come on.
That's
So
sucks.
stupid.
Yeah.
That's so stupid. And that's just Orthodox people that do that. I think.
Yeah.
That do the half.
Yeah. The only
But
care.
I think like also the intersection of racism like
Yes, 100
complicates things.
oh.
Like I could see Reform Jews with a white person. I could see. I don't think this is the majority of Reform
maybe they
Jews,
wouldn't
and maybe
ask.
not now. But like they would ask a black Jew, "Which half are you?"
Reform Jews
Yeah, when they wouldn't ask that to a white Jew.
That's true.
I don't think that happens
see
a
that happening
lot
more
in the
often.
Reform side, especially not as much now, but I do think that would happen. That could happen.
So I guess what you asked me what I hate about Judaism, that's not really a Judaism thing. That's more of like a...
Just a human thing.
yeah.
People are in their little tribes
Right.
and they want to like be
better.
be better than other people.
It's righteousness.
100%.
Yeah.
And that it happens everywhere.
And that's what I
happens in-
think is the main problem in our whole world. One of
Exactly.
the main problems
Yeah.
is that our group is better than your group. We're right, you're wrong.
Will you hold the mic a little closer?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, what's up?
Perfect.
See,
I don't
our
want to
group
interrupt you.
holds the mic correctly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
your
your group doesn't.
Well, yeah.
He's just like, you're right.
Well, you know your equipment better than I do. But yeah, this is an SM7B.
It is.
And it's the podcast version.
Yeah.
But the SM7B traditionally is a very low power mic, and that's maybe what you need a cloud lifter on this thing that makes it louder. But
Do you want to be the
I don't
podcast
really know.
producer?
I don't know much about this mic, but I do know if you take this thing off, there's a nice mic under it. Look at that. That's the actual mic.
Yeah.
That's without the.
Yeah, the foam,
But this
the
mic,
windscreen.
this mic,
It doesn't have to be that close. It could be like,
Okay.
yeah.
This mic, the
Yeah.
original version, is what Michael Jackson recorded Thriller on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very famous mic. It's like
I
not
would-
this one, the industry, the bigger one.
Sure, the SM7B. This is the SM7B something. Anyway.
I would
Let's carry on.
normally hate when a man came in and instructed us on our
Am
own
I
equipment.
mansplaining?
But
Am I mansplaining?
the problem is that
Shoot.
you are very good
And you're
at
knowledgeable.
this, and you really know what you're talking about. So I Do you think we should talk to you
No.
afterwards? And
Desiree would be mad at
some
me right
tips.
now. She's like, "Don't mansplain." I'm like, "I'm just explaining. Doesn't have anything to do with me being a man." And then I'm doing it again. And then I'm doing it again. Then I'm doing it again.
Mansplaining to you.
That's true. Let me mansplain. But what if how do I explain anything as a man? How do I clarify? How do I do it the right way?
I think probably you just ask someone, hey, would you like
Okay.
to know something about this? Oh,
Okay.
I noticed something about this. Is it out of line for me to say something about it? You know how to talk to people.
Okay.
Like that.
Make it their idea.
You make it there.
Okay.
Incept
There
them.
you
Make them want it.
go. Okay, we're going to transition to a little segment
Yes.
Okay.
that we like to call.
Am I doing okay?
You're doing
Did I
great, Eric.
did I
Get out.
did I offend anything, or like did I cross a boundary I wasn't supposed to cross?
So many.
Okay. Okay.
You're
Wow.
so
I'm
canceled.
trying to be careful.
You.
We'll tell
This
you.
is so funny because we don't normally have like that many straight dudes on the pod.
Oh,
Yes.
guys,
and we've had
thanks for
2 recently. Yeah, you're welcome. Diversity
Thank you.
hire.
Yeah.
yeah.
And and both of you, the last 2 episodes have both been straight men, and both of you have been like, "Am I saying something bad?"
But it's actually kind of, I feel like it's nice because it's like almost like you're aware. Anyway, it doesn't really matter.
You're a nice person. We
You're
respect.
so
we respect the
nice.
fact that you're being thoughtful.
Yes. Thank
Okay.
you.
even though you're an idiot.
You're right.
Except when it comes to mics, and then you know every single thing.
I learned a word before the podcast started rolling. Course correct.
Course correct.
There you go. Okay, welcome to Matza Minute,
Minute.
the segment where we ask you short questions that should take about a minute to answer, and if you don't want to answer one of those questions, you have to eat a piece of matzah.
Oh, this is my kind of drinking game.
Boom. Okay.
Okay.
Question number 1.
Okay.
You are sometimes known by your musician name Smooth E.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how did you choose that name, and why was it the darkest point of your life?
The darkest point of my life. All right, you already hate it. So I was working in radio for a company called Premier Radio Networks. They're a radio syndicator. And I was doing like comedy bits, parody songs for them. They would get distributed all over the country. Okay. Then they said, hey, we have this radio show called, with a host named Ellen K, who was at the time a guy named Rick D's sidekick. There's a huge radio show in Los Angeles on Kiss FM. But she's going to do her own show. It's a countdown show. We want you to be her sidekick. But you have to pick a radio name. And I go, okay, what's the dumbest name I can pick? I literally said that. It's supposed to be dumb. So there's a group called Nice and Smooth. And Smooth is Smooth B. And I was like, hey, I could be Smooth E. That sounds stupid. Like
And
the
it
drink.
worked.
Like the drink.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Smooth
take
E.
a sip. Because I'm Eric, Smooth E, take a sip. I'm the Jamba Jew.
I actually think that's
Jamba
very
Jew is
smart.
good.
And that's why Surrender to the Blender is the title of my first comedy special. Yeah. And people don't get that.
Smoothie.
And I was like, it's probably not a good title, but that's what I chose.
You're a genius. Wow,
Well,
great answer.
But you still hate it, the name? When you first...
I feel like it's, good art elicits an emotion.
okay. It's
That was
polarizing.
not way to,
So-
a way to
When
not
you, no,
answer
be
it.
honest, I don't use it anymore.
Good
I
art.
don't use Smoothie. I may bring it back because people remember it, but
I think if you're going for dumb, nailed it.
oh yeah, I was going for dumb.
There you
I was
go.
going for like... So people
perfect.
don't understand, like sometimes I do stuff that is stupid to call attention to, like, look how dumb this is. Like I do a song called Lean Like a Gringo.
Yeah.
And I rap like this, right? And people go, one person commented, cringe. And I replied, I go, yeah, that's the point.
Yeah.
I'm calling attention to this guy this character.
It's a parody.
Yeah, this character is who you shouldn't be like.
The parody is so good. They're like, this is real.
Yeah, they think it's real.
Well, that's be dumb people
That's-
on the internet.
Yeah.
What do you think of Jo Koy at the Golden Globes?
Okay. Jo Koy.
Because you opened for him.
I used to open for Jo Koy. Love Jo Koy. But look, there was a lot of criticism or whatever, or talk about it. And I think a lot of it is unwarranted. If you go back and watch the video, he was fine. It was fine. It was funny. I laughed out loud at certain parts. But what I think his only mistake was that he called attention to it.
Yeah.
If he didn't call attention to it, nobody would have said. It would have been the average amount of I liked him, he wasn't for me, and he would have, gone
would
on.
have smoothed over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think he cares so much about it going great.
Yeah.
Which is a noble quality.
I totally understand that instinct as a comedian on stage when it's not going well to call attention to it. Because sometimes that does help save it a little bit if the audience is like, oh, you're aware enough to see what's going on.
Right.
But it just didn't work in this room, in that context.
Yeah. And I think, but a lot of people, now most people, I think after the fact can see that.
Yeah.
I think in that moment,
no, you couldn't.
People were easy to like jump on that negativity bandwagon. And I mean, I think a lot of people outed themselves as like haters.
Yeah.
So
what was he like when you opened for him?
Well, what we would do, and this is how I know he cares about killing. I mean, you should if you're a comedian, right?
Yeah.
Is we would do this because I didn't go easy. I mean, I can rock a crowd, right? And he knows that. He actually told me like he doesn't want any softballs thrown before he gets on stage. He goes, that's why I pick strong openers, because I want to work hard. I want to, So he did the same thing with Cedric the Entertainer. He told the story on my podcast where he one time opened for Cedric. The first time he opened for him, he blew it up. He said, there's no way Cedric's going to be able to follow me. There's no way. And he sees him backstage and Cedric's like pacing. He's like, yeah, that's right, Jo Koy, you do your thing. You do that. And he goes out and he blows the roof off the place. And Joe was like, okay. Yeah, I didn't, Cedric is hilarious. So what we would do is I would go on every night and I would try to bury him. I would try to like make myself unfollowable, and I would just try to kill as hard as I could. And then he would go out and try to make them forget my name. Like we had that camaraderie.
Wow.
It was great to do that. That was such a fun time to tour. If you ever get the opportunity to tour with your friends or tour with anybody, it's just a different experience than what we do on a daily basis of like going out and doing spots or even going out and doing a weekend here, a weekend there. But when you're on tour with somebody, you're with them all the time and you get to know them on a different level.
Yeah.
Like in your adult life, how often do you hang out with your friends?
Sleepovers every
exactly,
night.
Right?
I would love to do that.
It's really
I need
fun.
to go. I went on tour once with Ariel Elias. Do you know who that is?
I don't.
She's a Jewish comedian based in New York.
Okay.
And we went to Philly. We went to Pennsylvania together over New Year's Eve, and we did a private Jewish New Year's Eve party. They didn't listen to us for 1 second, but now we're trauma bonded for life.
Was it Rosh Hashanah New Year's Eve?
No, it was like New Year's Eve.
they're like sitting there with eating
the apples and honey. They're praying in the middle of us doing the stand up. Yeah.
I was gonna say Haroset. I'm like, that's the wrong holiday.
Wrong holiday.
Yeah, that's Passover.
Okay, you recently had an encounter with a fan who cosplayed as you.
Oh yeah.
And if you were to go
cosplayed as my character on Helluva Boss. Yeah, not me.
That would be amazing.
Anytime I see a bald guy at my show, I go, "You're cosplaying."
Cosplay. Yeah. If you were to go and cosplay to like a big Comic-Con, who would you go as, and why is it Aang from Avatar?
Aang from Avatar.
Do
you know who that is?
Oh, the blue people.
Oh, no, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
The Last Airbender.
Have you seen it?
No, but that's what my girlfriend actually, she told when we were at this con last weekend. She goes, "You got to do The Last Airbender."
Yeah.
Yeah. Ball joke. Okay.
Oh, you're really hitting it with the ball jokes.
I know, I'm really coming in hot with
Just so you guys know, this is a lifestyle. Sorry, this is a lifestyle. This is not it's not a trend. I haven't eaten any matzah yet. I would totally go as Last Airbender. I should do that. I saw a guy doing it. He was like on one of those hoverboards. Because does he? I don't know much about it. I've seen like one episode of that. But yeah, I got to start doing Last Airbender parodies and stuff like that.
Yeah, you would kill. But
Okay.
who would you cosplay as?
No, that's who I was thinking.
Aang.
Yeah, Aang.
Great
Great.
choice.
Yeah, you hit it.
Okay, let's transition to...
Or NBA Commissioner Adam Silver.
Totally. Love that guy.
We love sports.
Yeah.
Is he just like a Jewish bald guy?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. wearing a suit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna transition to secrets. Ooh.
And you can use the
and you could just
Can I
munch
use
on
the
the
matzah?
matzah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get in
yeah.
Matzah, you are my shield.
Antonia, you want to go first?
Okay. Yeah, I'll go first. Okay. Normally we don't like childhood secrets, but I feel like this one really reveals an iconic part of me. So when I was in, I think probably 7th grade, this girl in my dance class died.
Oy.
Oh no.
You said that like you were excited about it.
I was.
Oh no.
I didn't know her barely at all. She was just like some kid in dance class. I, knew her name, knew what she looked like, really barely knew her. But she died and I was like, this is my moment to feel pain.
Eric's like, you monster.
I was just so hungry for drama, pain. This is a sign that I grew up in pretty good circumstances. Even though, in retrospect, the emotional life that I was growing up in, terrible. But, felt I had so much safety. And so I was like, oh my God, someone died in my life. I get to feel. And so every single day, I had like a little paper planner, Every single day under the date, her name was Chloe. I would write Chloe. And it was my way of like memorializing her. But also, I was really hoping someone would see.
Oh.
Be like, what a good
I'd be
person.
I'd be like, what's this about? What's this? Chloe. Huh. What is that all about? And I could be like, well, she was my friend.
It's really hard to talk about.
It's really hard to talk about. And then my neighbor died. His name was Henry Edelman. He was old. And so I started adding his name too.
Bro.
So every single day under the date, I would write Chloe H.A.
And you lit a candle on your desk for each. Now you had 2 candles on your desk.
I would, say gosh. I would cry. And
You started every paper with Vayit Kadal. Vayit Kadash.
And every time I would do it, I would be like,
Aw.
Listener, if you can't see Antonia's face, she's looking around, pretending to write.
Yep.
Making sure
making
someone
sure
is
everyone
looking.
can see
Yeah.
how thoughtful I am. And I'm a child who's just seen so much death.
You
Such
poor
a
thing.
good person.
It's just, it's so hard
Yeah.
to show up every day with a good spirit
Aw.
when I'm holding so much pain.
What a hero.
Your grades must have taken a dive.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I made sure that everyone knew I was grieving.
You got an A in grieving.
I got an A grieving. Who am I kidding? I got A's in every single class. That was my version. That was the way my trauma enacted itself. Perfectionism. So that's my secret.
That's a good one.
I was just so desperate for attention.
Right. Was it like it was like virtue, like it's like I'm better than you? Like was it like I'm a good person and I need attention for that, or was it I need to remember them?
I think what it was,
and
I think it was a little bit of all of it.
Yeah.
But the part of it that really spoke to me was like, I was just obsessively reading fantasy novels about children whose parents were dead, like children who had just gone through some horrible trauma and that turned them into the hero who saved the world. And I was like, I think that like, it's just so beautiful that like, I just thought it was really glamorous to have lost people.
Yeah.
To have experienced death.
And it is.
What you were consuming told you to do that.
Exactly.
Right.
And it's their immediate fault.
Harry Potter, orphan.
Yeah.
Like Lion the Witch in the Wardrobe. Their parents are toast.
It's just impossible to raise children. It's impossible to have healthy children. Either you give them great lives and they have to manufacture grief, or they have grief.
Sorry.
Her name Chloe.
For Chloe's parents, it was. I already forgot her name. I'm sorry, Chloe.
Never forget.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
It's fine. I'm done.
So I thought that was pretty good because honestly,
like
I'm fucked up enough that like I still think it's pretty glamorous to have.
Is that why
lost someone
Chloe's
really juicy?
name is on these matzahs? You are an animal.
It's on all of our production meeting
Oh my gosh.
notes.
This
For
screenwriting book dedicated to Chloe. What?
That's funny.
You gave me a Chloe mug? Is this Chloe's mug?
Like, you know what would be so fucked up is like if there's heaven and little Chloe was watching all of this and she was like, who the fuck are you?
I hope so.
She was like, I don't even know your name. We were in tap class like for 3 classes.
Yeah.
That's my secret.
That's good.
Thank you.
Eric, what do you got?
My vulnerable childhood secret.
Or not childhood.
Yeah, no, it was. I guess you could still consider this childhood. I had a cousin named Chloe. And, no.
She died when she was 7.
I almost killed somebody.
Oh.
On purpose?
No,
Accident.
accident.
Okay.
Wow. If it was on purpose, you
All right.
end the podcast now and kick me out. When I was 17, I had just started driving, and this is before texting and driving, but there still was distracted driving, and I had a Suburban. That was my parents' car that we used to tow our boat with, and it was a 19 whatever old Suburban, and it was like huge. I mean, Suburban's huge, and I was driving, listening to the radio, and I don't know, I was daydreaming. I had just come from swim practice or whatever, and I go look up, and I'm like, oh shit, the light is red, and I slam on my brakes, but it's too late. Like the traffic had already started from the other side. And I hit this woman in like a really, the equivalent of like a Honda Civic. Oof. It was a Mazda something, but I hit her on the driver's side in the back door. And if I would have hit her in the driver's door, she would have been dead.
Oh, God.
But I hit her car, spun around in the intersection. I was so scared. Like, I literally was inches away from killing her. And yeah, I would have been in jail right now. I don't know. I was 17. Manslaughter?
Maybe not anymore.
Manslaughter? I would have gotten out by now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Is this the first time you said that?
On a podcast, yeah. I've told some people, but yeah, that was...
Did you talk to her after?
No. I mean, she talked to my insurance company for sure. And I mean, I know my parents had to go on their insurance, and it was not good because I was on their insurance, and I felt
You're so lucky that wasn't on your insurance.
I know that
you would still be paying for that for sure in your premiums.
Yeah, I feel like I like let my parents down, and that was a hard one. That was like, I'm like, what is wrong with me? Why am I guess I like got real confident real quick in driving because I wasn't watching. Like I'm looking at you guys right now, and you're like, wow, that was dumb. Like I'm feeling that from you guys. Like,
no,
oh
as
my
a
God.
17-year-old, I am surprised it doesn't happen more. Like,
yeah.
How are you like with driving now?
Now I'm good. I mean, I haven't been in any more accidents that were my fault.
Since then?
Are you?
I don't think so.
Did you like get some trauma around driving?
I might have rear-ended somebody, like just tapped them because they went and they stopped like right in front of me. Like no damage, barely any damage.
That doesn't count.
Yeah, but I got my car totaled before. Like somebody spun out and hit me.
Wow.
But yeah, sorry. And then you asked me?
Do you have like trauma around driving?
No.
From this?
No, I don't think about it yet.
Matter.
I don't think
almost
about it
killed
very much.
someone. It's fine.
No, if I think back about it, it's painful. Like to think how close I was to killing somebody. It's just, yeah, it's a reminder now. And there's been times because I get sleepy when I drive, like late at night. So I gotta be really careful. If I feel it at all, I pull over and I get off the freeway. But there's been times where I've like when I started driving, I was like swerving around the road, like almost swerved off the road a few times, and because we drive late as comedians. We drive late at night.
Yeah.
That's hard.
It is.
You
And
gotta
you're
be super
like,
careful.
Yeah. You're tired. You just did an hour.
Yeah, you come down off that
Yeah.
comedy high about halfway through your hour drive.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, well, I can relax now. The worst is when you get close to home, that's when you're most vulnerable. Because then in your mind, you've decided, I made it. You can never feel like you made it.
Until you're in the driveway.
Until you're there.
And that's what your song is about.
Which
I made
one?
it.
I made it. Oh, a little different, but yeah. Now, you're going to tell us a story?
I am going to tell a secret.
All right.
I haven't decided what the secret's going to be yet. I was trying to think of a car accident one.
Okay.
I don't really have a good car accident one.
What's the closest to death you've ever been?
Oh, I like that question. Bombing on stage. I'll say a bad bomb story, which still haunts me.
Oh, man.
It was at the Silver Lake Lounge, and there was like a few really important people that I just really wanted to impress. And I was trying this like stage persona thing where I'm a little bit of a bitch. And I took it a little bit too far. So I just came off really intense really early. And the audience just immediately was like, fuck you. It was not.
No.
Wow.
It was not. And I deserved it.
Do you remember what you said?
That made them think that.
Yeah.
You know what? It was almost like a Jo Koy moment.
Oh.
Even though I love him. But it was just that like, they didn't like me. And then I called out attention to it. And then they didn't like me even more.
Yeah.
And
you were trying to be Ashley Gavin.
I love Ashley Gavin. Do you know Ashley Gavin?
I don't.
She's a lesbian comedian. She's like very aggressive on stage, but the way I think it just works for her more because it's real. I don't know. Not that she's like really aggressive, but like I think I was just like trying too hard to be aggressive, and I didn't, and it was like obvious,
Okay.
And yeah, I told this joke. I think I've told you this, Antonia, but I have a sister with special needs, and I told this joke about she takes her top off sometimes because she gets angry, which I think is hilarious. But like the audience really tensed up because they're like, it was also like a queer audience,
Yeah.
like a very progressive audience. So like, wow, you're a bitch and you're making fun of your sister with special needs. Like, we hate you even. And it was just like one of those things where like I did the punchline, it was just crickets.
God.
Hey, every comedian has been there.
I know.
And in front of important people.
Yeah.
I've had that happen
And now
several times.
And now I've had to mute on Instagram these people that were at the show. You know, you can
okay.
like, I don't want to unfollow
you're
them.
reminded
Because I'm
of
reminded
the shame.
of the shame. Yeah. It was just so bad. And I still have trauma over it. I mean, I can't get it out of my head.
Well, the good thing is like, and this is the hardest thing, and you always hear people say that, learn from it.
I know,
but
I
it's
know.
like, that's the only choice you have.
Yeah, 100%.
Because this is what we do a lot as artists. Every artist has gone through this where you did something that maybe you did it wrong, maybe it wasn't the right way to do things. We keep punishing ourselves about it.
I know.
Like, you paid the price already. What?
I really, how do you handle that?
It's just mental. You just got to get in this place in your mind where you just tell yourself, okay, I paid for that. I'm done with that. I'm done with thinking that I was wrong. I know I was. I'm moving on from that. That's the hardest thing.
It's so hard.
You change your mind.
Yeah.
You just change your mind. And then the artist way they talk about that a lot, where, what book is actually really focused on that, about changing your mind, is The 4 Agreements. Really popular book.
4 Agreements.
But
I've heard of
Don
that.
Miguel Ruiz. It's I always forget what the 4 agreements are, but I'll try. Always do your best. Be impeccable with your word. There's 2 more. Hold on, let me look them up. the
4 agreements. Is that in an audiobook?
All right. The 4 agreements are: be impeccable with your word, don't take anything personally, don't make assumptions, and always do your best. They're hard to maintain.
Those are hard agreements.
Yeah.
But the more you do it, you like this book, you could read it in like 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours. And it's like a brain massage.
Oh, I like that.
The agreement means like how your brain's wired, what you agree to be true based on what your upbringing and your experiences. But it tells you like, you don't have to have those agreements. You can change your mind. Be impeccable with your word is like, speak the truth, don't gossip. Well, you have to stop this podcast. But you're doing it maybe in a different way.
Yeah, we're doing it in like a nice way.
Okay. Don't take anything personally. Don't take anything personally is like that's huge. You know what I mean? Like what happened to you at that set. Honestly, don't take it personally. Those people in the crowd were going through their own stuff. There's another reason why they didn't. All you were really trying to do, if you really think about it, all you were really trying to do is make people laugh. Your intentions behind it were not to offend them.
Yeah.
And if they got offended, they weren't able to see. They took it personally. You know, they took it personally, and they shouldn't do that, right? So don't blame yourself. So don't make assumptions. The other thing is you're making assumptions that they hate you.
Well,
you don't have proof.
Just the looks on their faces.
And one of the things that Barry Katz said to Bert Kreischer once, I heard this on his podcast, is Bert had bombed in front of industry crowd.
Oh yeah.
And the next day, he calling Barry, he's like, "I got to get back on stage. I got to redeem myself. I got to, these people are thinking about like how I bombed in front of them." And he goes, "Relax. Well, who did you think about all day? Myself? Who do you think they're thinking about all day?
Yeah.
Themselves? They're not thinking about you. Relax."
That is true.
Right.
And also, I hear so many comedians shit talking other comedians.
Yeah.
That I know that they're thinking about themselves, but they're also very happy to shit talk when someone bombs, you know?
But that's for themselves too.
Yeah.
And those are other comedians.
Yeah.
Which is all I care about.
Which is...
And always do your best. Let's relate that back to your...
Nice.
You were doing something. You were trying something new. You were doing your best. You didn't go up there with the intent of ruining anyone's night. You were doing your best. So there you go. Problem solved.
Eric, thank you so much.
You've changed our lives.
I feel healed.
Good. That book is the.
I'm gonna listen to it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being on the pod.
Thank you.
Oh, you're ending it on that. Okay.
It's a nice ending.
Get out of here.
Yeah. We're enough.
Too earnest.
Can I have a matzah because I was open?
Get in
Yes.
Okay. I'm not gonna do any.
You were so
crumbs.
open and vulnerable, and now I understand why you didn't want to answer my question about comedy gossip.
Yeah, I'm just gonna no crumbs.
Oh, thank you so much. Eric knows that I get triggered by crumbs on the
Whose
couch.
episode was it when you...
Lily's.
Oh, yeah.
She had so many
Listener,
crumbs.
go back and watch
Lily.
the YouTube of Lily Richards episode and watch Raye have a meltdown.
Lily, has she had experience with matzah before?
She has.
Wow.
She has.
She just didn't care.
Wow.
She felt
rude.
free. That's a sign of the kind of openness that we bring into the space.
That's true. That's true.
She felt free to get crumbs everywhere. Which Lily, we love you.
Lily,
and I
we
support you
love
getting
you.
your crumbs everywhere.
Lily, I don't know you, but I'm offended by these crumbs. Do better.
Okay, Eric,
Kidding.
tell everyone do you have anything to plug and where they can find you?
Yeah, just go to my website, ericschwartzlive.com. Is that archaic to say a website, ericschwartzlive.com?
I say a website
it's
every
so
time.
cringe. It's
That's where everything is. But if you're like Instagram, that's probably where, most people that listen to Instagram, Eric Schwartz with 3 E's, EEERICSCHWARTZ. I pronounce it Eric Schwartz, like a DJ.
It's really good.
I'm on all the social medias, though. Just find me. Just look for the bald guy with glasses, and let's have fun.
Yeah.
Let's have fun. Raye?
RayeSchiller.com.
SCH?
My website, SCH.
Nice.
Yes,
I'm an SCH.
I know. We're strong German Jews. I I want to shout out our Patreon members because that's one of the tiers, and I can't find their names on my thing, but there's one person, Mark, that I'm going to shout out, who is a Rabbi Rockstar on the Rabbi Rockstar tier, which is $30 a month.
We freaking love you.
Thank you, Mark.
You guys didn't number them like 18, 36.
You know what?
That
would have been too smart.
That makes too much sense.
That's so Jewish. Whenever I see a Jewish donation, I'm like, why is it this odd number? And then I divide by 18.
Yeah.
And I'm Antonia Lassar. That's at Antonia Lassar. If you're in Asheville, North Carolina, I'm literally so excited. I'm performing at the JCC on June 20th. It's really going to be a great show, so please come.
And everybody at the Asheville JCC, I'm available for hire. I want to go to Asheville so bad.